Hello everyone, welcome to RX Prodigy. In this video, we are going to study the composition of blood. What are different components of blood and what is their function? In our previous video, we have studied the structure of heart. What is the function of heart? And in continuation of that video, we are going to study the composition of blood. So let's start today's session. Okay, so what is blood? As we know that blood is the fluid connective tissue and which is important for circulation of various nutrients, then various gases and waste products, right? So these blood circulates through the heart, then blood vessels and tissues, and it is necessary for transportation as well as for defense mechanism, and this blood is also important for keeping us alive and healthy, right? So what is the function of blood? So there are multiple functions of blood we have mentioned here. First is to deliver the oxygen and nutrients. As we know that blood is involved in transportation of various gases, then nutrients and waste products. So it delivers oxygen and nutrients to the cell, and it brings out the unnecessary carbon dioxide and waste product from the cells, and these are get eliminated out of the body with the help of the blood. Okay, the next function is to fight against the infection, and it also heals the injuries. Now various components are present in the blood, and they are involved in fight against the infection. As we know that WBCs are present in the blood, and these WBCs are involved in fighting against the infection. Again, platelets are present in the blood, and these platelets are involved in healing the injuries. Next function of the blood is temperature maintenance, then pH maintenance and body fluid maintenance in the body. Okay, now blood is the fluid connective tissue, is the fluid primarily contained within the blood vessel. Blood get transported to all parts of the body with the help of these blood vessel, right? Now these blood is get divided into two components. First is the plasma and second is formed element. These formed elements contains the red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. These three components are present in the formed element. Okay, now how these two components get separate out? When we centrifuge the blood by keeping it into the centrifugation machine, so the blood get divided into two sections. You can see in the diagram, the blood get divided into two sections. The uppermost section is the plasma and the lower section contains the formed element, and between these formed element, that means that lower red color section contains the red blood cell, and uppermost section which is the puff color or straw color section is the plasma, and between these two sections there is a white portion present in the blood. That white portion contains the white blood cells and the platelets. So as we have seen, two components are present in the blood. First is plasma and second is formed element, right? And these formed elements are composed of red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. That means the blood get divided into two sections. The upper straw color section is plasma, and lower section from the white line to the red color is the formed element, which is composed of RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Now here also we have mentioned that blood contains four main components. Four, that means first is plasma. After that, formed element contains the white blood cells, red blood cells and platelets. Now let's see the function of these components. First is plasma. It is the straw colored liquid present in the blood and which get flowed after centrifugation of the blood. Okay, next is white blood cells. White blood cells form a patchy layer between the plasma and the red blood cells, and they are involved in fight against the diseases, fight against the foreign particles, so that they will protect our body against the infections. Okay, next is the red blood cells. The red color section of the blood composed of red blood cells, and these red blood cells are important for carrying oxygen, then nutrients and waste products. After that, platelets are present in the white patchy portion of the blood. Platelets are present, and these platelets are involved in clotting mechanism of the blood, coagulation mechanism of the blood. Okay, so blood is divided into two sections. First is the plasma, and second is formed element. Plasma, about 55% of plasma is present in the blood, and 45% of formed element are present. Correct. Now these plasma, 55% of plasma, this 55%, if we consider it as 100%, then from these 100%, about 90 to 92% of water is present in the plasma, that means the liquid portion of the blood. Okay, then next 7% proteins are present, and remaining 1% are other solute like electrolytes, then nutrients are present in the plasma. Okay, next formed elements, they are composed of three sections. First is RBCs, red blood cells, which are also called as erythrocyte, then white blood cells, also called as leukocytes, and platelets, which are also called as thrombocytes. Okay, so this plasma, it is composed of, it is the liquid portion of the blood, and it is straw colored, as we have seen in the diagram which is present on the earlier slide. Correct. This plasma is composed of water, then proteins and other solutes. Now you can see in the pie chart, around 92% of water is present in the plasma, then 7% of proteins, and remaining 1% are the other solutes are present. Correct. Now these 90 to 92% of water, as water is the solvent for the nutrients and gases and waste product. Then proteins, there are three types of proteins present in the plasma. First is the albumin, then second globulin, and third is the fibrinogen. Okay, now albumin, what is the function of albumin in the plasma? It is involved in maintenance of osmotic pressure. Second, globulin, it is involved in the immunity. Globulin is responsible for formation of immunoglobulin, that means the antibody present in the body. Correct. So this immunoglobulin, as we know that antibodies fight against the antigen or pathogen, so immunoglobulin is involved in the immunity. And next is fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is the clotting factor, second clotting factor of the first clotting factor of the clotting factor series. So this involved in clotting, that means the coagulation of the blood. Okay, next third component of the plasma is the other solutes, which are present in only 1%. So these other solutes are electrolytes, hormones, nutrients, gases and metabolic waste products. So this is the composition of plasma. Next composition is formed element. About 55% of plasma is present in the blood, and 45% of formed elements are present in the blood. Correct. So formed elements are composed of RBC, then WBC, and then platelets. Correct. RBCs are also called as erythrocytes, WBCs are called as leukocytes, and platelets are called as thrombocytes. Okay, so first formed element is the red blood cell, which is also called as erythrocyte, and these erythrocytes are the most abundant cells present in the blood, and normal count of RBCs is 4.5 to 6 million cells per mmq. Now these RBCs are of disc-like shape, and this structure is necessary for carrying hemoglobin. Okay, that means the RBCs contains the hemoglobin inside the inside it, and hemoglobin is involved in transportation of oxygen. Hemoglobin have ability to bind with oxygen and carbon dioxide. So when hemoglobin get bind with oxygen, they can carry the oxygen, correct? As hemoglobin is present inside the RBC, so RBC have ability to carry the oxygen to all body parts, correct? Again, same way CO2 can be carried by the RBCs. Next, what is the lifespan for RBC? It is 120 days, and no nucleus is present inside the RBC. Now, as we know that all these cells contains various kind of organelles inside it, right? But in case of RBC, the nucleus is absent. That means the space which is taken by the nucleus is vacant, and this vacant space can be occupied by the hemoglobin. So higher space can be occupied by hemoglobin, so that the higher amount of oxygen can be transported to all body parts with the help of these RBCs. Okay, next component of formed element is the WBC. WBC also called as leukocytes, correct? Now, what is the function of WBC? Defend defend the body against the infections, foreign substances, and abnormal cells. Now, there are different WBCs present in our body, and these WBCs are involved in formation of immunoglobulin. Then the lymphocytes are present, which engulf the foreign particles, engulf the bacteria, and from that function they are involved in defense mechanism. They can fight against the foreign substances which can be harmful to our body. Okay, now what is normal count of WBC? It is 4,000 to, and lifespan of WBC is about a few hours to several days, and these lifespan can be for years for some memory cells. If the cells are involved in the immune function, then they can recognize that memory for some years. Okay, next, these WBCs contains the nucleus. As RBCs lacks the nucleus, the WBC contains the nucleus, and according to the shape of nucleus, or shape of or lobes of nucleus, different WBCs are present in our body. Okay, now there are two types of WBCs present in our body. First is granulocytes, and second is agranulocytes. Granulocytes, that means the cells which carries the granules inside the cytoplasm, and agranulocytes, the cells which lacks the granules inside the cytoplasm. These granulocytes again get divided into three types: neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. And agranulocytes are lymphocytes and monocytes. Next component of formed element is platelet, which is also called as thrombocyte, and these thrombocyte are small disc-shaped cell fragments, and they are formed by megakaryocyte in the bone marrow. And normal count of platelet is 1,50,000 to 4 lakh platelets per cube of blood, and lifespan of platelets is 7 to 10 days per 10 days. And here also, in case of platelets, the nucleus is absent. In RBC, nucleus is absent, and in WBC, nucleus was present, correct? Now here is the quiz for you all to check your understanding by answering this quiz. So the question is, what is the primary function of red blood cell? uh, and the options are: to defend against bacterial infection, to clot blood, to prevent bleeding, or to transport oxygen throughout the body. You can comment your answer in the comment box. Now let's have recap of all these slides. So we have seen that blood is composed of 55% plasma and 45% formed element, that means different cells, correct? So function of blood is to transport gases, nutrients, hormones, and waste product, to regulate the pH, then temperature and body balance. After that, body fluid balance, then protection through immunity and clotting mechanism, Then we have seen plasma is present, 55% of plasma is present, and that plasma contains 90 to 90%, 92% of water, then 7% of proteins and other solutes. Now what are different proteins present in the plasma? Albumin, globulin and fibrinogen. Then blood cells, that means formed element, 45%, and these blood cells are red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. So here we have completed the composition of blood. So for such videos you can follow the following steps: like, share and subscribe the RX Prodigy. Thank you for watching.